Oh man, what a film. It's amazing a movie this racist could come out this recently. 1989, This feels like a 1981 kind of racist. No one can hear you, Adam.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
there you there you go.
This is
This is the racism is as juicy as the butts that Mike likes.
Yeah, it's not too many juicy butts, and it opens with a real pancake ass.
Charles Bronson?
No, there's like that girl in the room that's getting her hands tied up, and they got the Vaseline and the dildo.
Charlie doesn't have a pancake ass, dude.
the
He's got a nice
businessman.
buff butt.
Yeah, I'm talking about the woman, the woman's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but only the man is raped by Charles Bronson
That's
with the
true.
giant
That's true.
dildo.
Poetic justice.
They get there just in time.
That's that's a hell of a way to start a movie and
Yeah,
establish a character. A cop shoves a dildo up a guy's ass off screen, and you hear him like scream.
He's one of those
wallow.
cops that gets results. Okay.
Does he?
Or maybe not results, but he raped prisoners with a dildo. Hey, was this guy Israeli?
I know, that's what I was
Oh,
thinking. It's a common thing. Remember the NYPD plumber or plunger
yes.
Uh,
handle?
is that a real thing that happened?
Yeah,
Who did they plunger though? I can't remember who. Some
some
prisoner,
dude, some crook. Yeah,
Wait,
some crim,
the pointy end or
the
yeah,
pointy end.
yeah. Not
because
the rub.
I've been in a situation on the toilet where I've considered using a plunger, the regular end on my butt. So
What were you hoping to accomplish?
to pull the poop, because I'm having trouble pooping.
Oh, we kind of use the
Just
suction
kidding
action of
to the
it.
listeners. I've never been this. I've never thought that. I'm normal.
That would be pretty gross.
But yeah, this movie, what a cop. This is a cool cop. William screen sharing.
You don't remember this, Adam?
Oh, I loved the opening, even like from the very opening, like when he like open or like the guy opens the briefcase and then there's a wooden rod and like a tube of Vaseline, and then it cuts to
Yes.
like, and then that perfect cut to a title card, and it goes starring Charles Bronson. I was like, this movie's gonna be awesome.
I
Yeah,
thought
we're
the
talking.
Vaseline was a nice touch.
There is a world of shadow and darkness.
She's worth $5 a week, man. Put her on the streets.
A world we never see.
We have a 14-year-old brought in last night. Been in town 72 hours. Gang raped, abandoned.
A realm of secret appetites and hidden passions.
If she wasn't enjoying it, why didn't she cry for help?
Because of shame.
A realm where nothing is taboo.
It was Duke who put you out on the street. He made you turn tricks.
Duke was good to me.
Charles Bronson.
Everybody on the floor, now!
Kinjite, forbidden subjects.
Fumiko is our daughter, and she's just a young girl.
It is different in Japan. A daughter like Fumiko-san would be an innocent.
I can imagine how that guy must feel, being the father of a teenager.
Hi, Daddy.
Would you rather she were in the back seat of a car somewhere?
Rita's your daughter, she's not your wife.
Every desire becomes obsession.
Somebody cops a feel off Rita on the bus, and you're behaving like she was raped or something.
And every obsession explodes into violence.
I have this feeling of revenge that's eating my gut.
We're all beset with demons. Every one of us.
You make a living selling little kids, I'm gonna put you out of business.
Charles Bronson.
That's justice.
Kinjite, forbidden subjects.
Kinjite, Forbidden Secrets, 1989, starring Charles Bronson, directed by J. Lee Thompson. J. Lee Thompson is an old workhorse director. His most famous movie is probably The Guns of Navarone, one of those classic guys on a mission. 60s World War II movies, but in the 80s he did a lot of Charles Bronson canon movies.
I just realized, doesn't Kinjite mean forbidden subjects?
Well, yeah, that's what they said in the movie.
So this movie is called Forbidden Subjects. Forbidden Subjects. That's
Well, I
a
think
smart
it's-
title.
It's
Well,
saying
it's translated.
Kinjite
It's-
and then explaining what it is. Yeah.
Okay,
There's
okay.
there's a colon.
There's a colon where Charles Bronson shoves a dildo in this movie.
This is not a user request. This is a William request. I picked this movie
Why?
because I wanted to do a really sleazy LA cop movie, and this movie is sleazy. It's
This
kind
is
of
a good.
amazing.
It's also good. Like, you know, if you're I was having trouble. So Charles Bronson's like the go-to actor for racist protagonists. Seems like, or he was
Tough
back
guy,
in the day.
tough
That was
protagonist.
his like the market he had corner. Or whatever. In this one, he's racist
No,
against
no,
the
no, no.
Asians.
He's
But-
not normally racist. He's the Death Wish guy. He's the
But
he's
Death
the
Wish was
ki-
racist.
he's the kill the perp.
He's like the
Guy.
older killer guy,
Yeah.
older
Okay,
tough
okay.
guy, and terrible actor in this movie.
And the perps happen to be people of different races that aren't white.
Orientals,
So
as they're
the-
called
the-
in the film. In the film, they're called Orientals.
The
Yeah.
guys filming the porno were white that he beats up. Those guys were all white guys.
oh, true.
So
Okay. So he's not racist.
What about the pimps in this movie?
coolest character, Duke, by far the coolest character.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Okay, now I saw this at New Beverly, and I didn't know anything about it going in, and I remember being very confused the first time because Charles Bronson's the star. He's the cool cop. I get that. But a lot of the movie is about this other guy, the Japanese businessman. And I didn't really understand why he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And watching it again, I still don't understand what is going on with this character.
Oh,
The
his
first
daughter, because he's a Yakuza, but his daughter gets sex
It's not a
trafficked.
He's not a
didn't even say-
Yakuza.
yeah.
He's not a Yakuza. Oh, but what is he? He's just like a
Okay.
philanderer.
A Japanese businessman. He's coming here. The first
Okay.
like 20 minutes of the movie where they explain that Japanese guy's backstory and what he's doing just did not even need to be in the movie at all. It was just pointless.
You're not seeing the bigger picture, Mike. You're
The
not seeing
point is his daughter is
masters at
yeah.
work.
But the other thing is that guy like in Japan, he goes to hostess bars. He watches a woman on a train get molested, and he like enjoys seeing that. Then in America, he tries to do a little molestation on a bus. It's Charles Bronson's daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Huge
That's a big issue, and that freaks out Charles Bronson. Okay, but Charles Bronson doesn't know this guy did it. Then this guy, his daughter is kidnapped. Charles Bronson solves the case. At the end of the movie, he goes over to Charles Bronson's house, brings a gift. The daughter kind of recognizes him, but then nothing happens. Charles Bronson doesn't beat him up, kill him, arrest him, or do anything. It's a very weird... It's like they set up this whole thing. There has to be a deleted scene where Charles Bronson murders this guy.
Where the daughter rats on him and then he does
Yeah,
something.
it's a huge plot point,
Open
and there's
end.
all these parallels between these two fathers, and there's this weird relationship between the two of them. There's this weird thing where he's the victimizer and the victim when it comes to his daughter being kidnapped, and then there's no payoff. It's very it's a huge open-ended plot hole.
Are you saying this movie is like stupid?
No. What I'm saying is I think there's a deleted scene because they kind of realized like, what did we make? Like the movie probably was so much uglier.
Oh yeah, maybe it's like, okay, guys, this is too racist.
Yeah, they were like, let's just cut that. Or like, let's just get to the end and have Charles Bronson do his action thing and fight the Duke. Why did we? Because it's kind of an interesting.
The Duke.
It's an interesting character study more than an actual Death Wish action movie. There's not a lot of action in the film until the ending.
True. Yeah, there's a lot of like well, it's like a procedural kind of, but it's like a lot of shots of like Charles Bronson parking his car and getting out and then walking into a place.
But there's also lots of
beating up a minority inside.
There's lots of
fight scenes.
It's a lot of Charles Bronson reacting to the world and him not being happy. He doesn't like the Japanese taking over the hotel industry. He doesn't like foreigners coming in. He doesn't like the pimps. He doesn't like.
Remember when he says to the Indian guy, hotel clerk or something like that? He grabs him really hard and is like, "You wish you were back in India."
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Like he's the movie's deeper than it needs to be, but it's also extremely shallow and stupid.
Yeah, super stupid. I thought it was pretty good though, honestly.
Yeah, I liked it.
I like stupid things.
We got to talk about Duke Juan Fernandez, this actor. I mean, this is a great pimp. He is really sleazy, really hateable, and this guy is just chewing the scenery every time he shows up.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a scene where Charles Bronson makes him swallow a watch.
A Rolex. A $25,000 Rolex with diamonds.
So this actor has to like do a performance where he has to swallow a watch and then continue a scene. While like at the first he's doing stuff where he's like he can barely talk and everything, and then he finally gets the watch down. It was kind of an amazing performance.
It was very good, and the sleight of hand was good too.
Like it's like
he tried to bribe Charles Bronson and with a gold watch, and Charles Bronson is like, "I'm gonna make you eat it," and then he forces him to eat it, and he's like, "Gulp," and then he looks all like confused. And then Charles Bronson says, "You're going to have to look between your legs to tell time."
Yeah, good stuff.
And then he burns and blows up his car.
Yeah, he blows up his car and takes his watch. Was his plan that he thought that the Duke was going to quit after that? Just be like, "Oh, well, my car got blown up and I swallowed my watch. I guess I'm going to stop human trafficking. I'm over it." What was the plan there?
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, Charles Bronson is all this watch scene is amazing. Could you guys swallow a watch?
No one could do this.
Absolutely not. It would destroy your insides, bro.
Yeah, he says he's dying at first, and then he like runs out of the car when Charles Bronson's gonna blow it up and stuff. But blowing up a car at the end of a scene is just like, you got to blow up the car at the end. That's good screenwriting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, don't forget he messed with his daughter. We didn't talk about Charles Bronson takes his daughter and his daughter's friend to a football game. Just a middle-aged man and his two teenage companions at a football game. I don't believe these girls would want to go to this football game. I don't understand what this football game is. Like a minor league or an alternate 80s football league.
They couldn't use the NFL licensed teams. That's why they have these weird names.
They're called like the Cobras or something.
It's like an Any Given Sunday when they call them the Sharks and the other team. It's just made up names.
And then Charles Bronson's like, "I'm going to get some hot dogs." And he's buying hot dogs, and the Duke comments on his daughter saying like, "Oh, she can make $5,000 a week."
Oh yeah, because he's like scoping. He's like looking at people from the other side of the stadium with binoculars, and he sees them. Which is a pretty cool. That's a cool like instigating moment to like be like across an entire stadium with binoculars. He looks at. So
It's very creepy.
Yeah, for sure. But
But
yeah, Charles Bronson's like, I'm gonna go get hot dogs. And but he like also like after he starts getting threatened and actually has like is like, oh, people are trying to shoot. Like after he gets shot with an or like a restaurant, he's gonna get shot up. But
hold
he's
on, hold
gotta-
on, hold on, hold on,
Okay.
hold on. You're skipping out what happened in the hot dog scene.
I watched it 2 days ago. I'm trying to remember.
He takes the hot dogs and he smashes it in his face.
Out of nowhere, he just assaults the Duke and his companion.
Yeah, and then his daughter's like,
nothing.
"Wow, this guy's cool."
He's extreme.
Yeah,
My dad is so extreme. Like, wow, he really is extreme.
he's trying to protect his daughter. He's got a like. There's like a whole element in the movie where the work is messing with his family life. His wife is played by Peggy Lipton, who she's the waitress in Twin Peaks. She was married to Quincy Jones.
Ooh.
She's the father of Rashida Jones, or she's the mother of Rashida Jones. She is just sort of like, what's the matter? And he's like, the job is getting to me.
The job is getting to me.
He
Charles
raped a
Bronson
person.
is
He raped a man. That's what he said after he raped that guy. He's like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
job is getting to me. It's like, maybe you should quit, dude.
or maybe you just don't rape like suspects with dildos.
Do it by the
Nobody's
books.
asking you to do that. That's not like in your training, you know. But he gets it done. He
Some
gets the
great-
job done.
He does fight
Results
a few
are what
times.
matters.
Remember when he's like talking to his police, but the police chief is a good actor. I feel so bad for like the good actors in this movie that have to act opposite Charles Bronson. Is there a good Charles Bronson performance? Is he good in Death Wish? I can't remember.
I
Dirty
don't remember
Dozen?
the acting in those.
He's
movies
supposed to be
feeling so
silent.
forced.
He's supposed to be a silent person. Like in Dirty Dozen, he's the silent tough guy. Or I'm sorry, The Great Escape. And then he was like Once Upon a Time in the West, he's silent. He was always silent, I think, until Death Wish when he started adding quips.
Yes, you got to have the quips for.
And then in the 80s, he did one of these movies every year. He's in so many movies like this, like canon cop movies. He's good in he's in a lot of movies. Mr. Majestic, where he plays the watermelon farmer. He's in, but he should not be talking.
You can't
He
let
should
this
be
guy talk.
He should be
That's like-
squinting.
That's a tough restriction for an actor.
He should
Not
be
be able
killing.
to talk.
Um,
But for the right part, he'd crush it.
Do you think he gives a lot in his performance?
I feel like he gave it his all.
Emotional? Does he get emotional?
Does he?
No.
Okay.
There's a
Not
scene where
enough.
when the
Looks like he's just
father.
reading something off a piece of paper. or
Yeah,
something.
he's
He
definitely
seems-
phoning it in on this movie.
But
Yeah, he
wait,
doesn't
no,
seem like
he's
even-
tough. You don't understand. He's tough. He's silent. Like when the Japanese man's daughter is kidnapped, Charles Bronson is afterwards is talking to his partner and he's saying, I couldn't stand being around this guy all weepy and emotional. I thought Japanese men were supposed to be tough with all that Harry Carey stuff. He was like disgusted by this guy's crying because his daughter was kidnapped.
Oh, I wanted to say that I was talking about the police chief who's really working hard. But there's a scene where he's like with his police chief and he's I don't know what he's like talking about victims of somebody and he's like 11-year-old boy, retarded girl of 17.
He's talking to like a priest. There's like a priest
Oh yeah.
where all the molested victims of sexual assault end up. All the child prostitutes end up living at this like orphanage with a priest.
6 months in
Good stuff.
town, gang raped, and pimped out the next day or something. He talks
retarded
about
girl gang raped.
13 years old.
She was Oriental too. It's like they sentence the things that I want to cast Charles Bronson in a movie just to get him to say wild shit in that voice.
It's it really is amazing the shit they were doing in this movie, and not with no concern for how are people going to feel about it. It's such an old. It should you could tell it was just made exclusively with old men
Oh yeah.
who don't give a
Totally.
fuck, and just were
I
like, "This is
I,
it.
I was
This
trying
is
to
what
just
it is."
yeah, I was trying to figure out the whole time. I was like, is this movie like it's like obviously about racism, kind of like Black Rain or like it's about like a character's racism, like Black Rain or like Alienation, but it's like is the movie racist or is it not racist?
The movie is racist.
Yeah, the movie
I,
is racist.
that's what I. That's my astute observation.
But it's good. It's a good racist movie. So don't let that hold you back. The racism and the bad, terrible acting by the main character. But
when the
yeah.
Duke takes Fumiko to the other dude in the limo,
Well, he
and he like
kidnaps this little Japanese girl by saying like, "Hey, can you
yeah
show me where your skull is?" And she's so nice and good, she believes him.
Oh yeah, the Yakuza or no, whatever the stupid guy's Japanese guy's daughter is.
I don't remember there being any Yakuza in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know why
you
I thought
you keep saying Yakuza, but I don't
feel
think
like
there's any in it.
I feel like I read Yakuza on the description, and that's why I
No. Well, there is an
Hold on a
element of the business world in this movie, the Japanese business world, having a samurai structure like the Yakuza, where they just follow orders and there's no regard for anyone outside of themselves. But I think there's an element of the father being a philanderer, so
right.
his daughter is then victimized. It's a very
like moralizing it.
yeah, like he kind of deserves it for the way he treats women. But anyway, the daughter's kidnapped by the Duke, and she's 13 years old. She's very young, maybe 12.
Yeah.
And the Duke takes her to this apartment with all these girls and dudes, and he like immediately fucks her in this room. And like you just see the door close. And then you see him walk out and he's like adjusting his tie. And then this other guy goes in.
He's adjusting his cock inside of his pants very, very clearly inside his fly. And then he zips his fly up. He's not, and then he does the tie too.
And then Cy Richardson goes in. He's in Repo Man. He's like the driver. This guy, I know it's not him, but he looks exactly like the Gangster Party Line guy. The first guy. But he goes in and then he has sex with her and then he leaves. And then another guy goes in and has sex with her. And these guys are all black. And the fact that they're all black and there is no like white guy in the group, there is no like Mexican guy, is really amazing because this is something you'll always see movies shy away from. They'll always
multicultural, make the gang multicultural.
Yeah, they get a little uneasy with this kind of thing of like, oh, like they're all black.
Would that be weird to like even cast it and then do the scene where it's like, okay, all you black guys come over here. You guys are the child rapists.
Line up.
They're great in the role though.
They're good actors. They're working hard. They're doing good jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like the one guy who's not doing a good job.
It definitely is a
movie
thing.
Star.
Because these guys have played so many criminals. If you look at their IMDb's,
for sure.
And there's no black cops, right? There's no.
True.
There is no like element to try to balance this.
They bring out an Asian cop for talking to the Asian guys,
and then they're racist. There's like a racist thing with him,
and he's okay with it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, we do all kind of look alike. That's a known fact." So,
oh man, remember the scene where like that? There's like some other white girl that's in that thing, and like the Duke like fingers her tongue and stuff.
Yeah, puts coke on her tongue.
That's such a gross scene.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I feel like this. I know they're
Do you
actors,
like
but you're
it?
watching this actress have to do this. Not like she didn't write the scene. She was trying to work.
Yeah,
She's like, I got a Charles Bronson movie, Mom. This
puts
is
his fingers
awesome.
in her mouth and puts his fingers in his mouth, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's gross.
It's going back and forth with, and there's no cuts in the movie to like.
No,
They're not hiding it. They're not like.
it was his finger. There's no denying it.
Oh my God.
I mean, he gets a lot out of this role.
He's
The
killing
Duke
it. He
is the
kills
best
it.
part of the movie.
Dude,
For
he has to
sure.
act a scene where he swallows a watch and then gets his car set on like fire. But he's still like acting in the scene. This is like that should get you into Juilliard.
I wrote down what Charles Bronson says after that. Of course, he says you'll have to stick your head between your legs to tell time, but he also burns his car, and then he says, "You're a bad dog. I shoot mad dogs. Colorful but dangerous."
What does yeah, what does that mean?
And then he doesn't
What does
shoot him.
colorful with dangerous mean?
Why didn't he just shoot him?
I was thrown off by that colorful line. Yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna let you kidnap a daughter and then try to kill me in a couple more times.
Yeah,
This is the
Maybe
thing
he'll
about
move
Charles
on.
Bronson is so he's in a restaurant eating and
he's eating what, hot dogs again?
like yeah,
Hamburgers. He
hot
remember
dogs.
in the hold on.
Anything
Remember in the
fatty.
opening scene when he's on stakeout with his partner? They're like talking about how like health food is gross and they don't like it. They don't like California cooking. They like junk food, and the whole time he just eats like junk food. But yeah, he's
That's
eating
cool.
like hamburgers and hot dogs, and the Duke is driving
He's gone to the hamburger or the hot dog store. He's like eating at the hot dog restaurant.
downtown LA, and then the Duke is driving in the back of a limo, and they're checking out these two white people, and they're like, "Oh, they just got off the bus. You know, we can pimp these out. We can pimp her out, and we can pimp him out. Some guys like that."
Was that his daughter and her boyfriend?
No, these are two
It
other
wasn't Charles
characters.
Bronson's daughter? Oh no.
No.
So they were just scheming on random white people? That's funny.
They just do
They're
it for
just-
fun.
Yeah.
But
And then they
shoot
see
up-
Charles Bronson,
Oh, yeah.
and then he goes, "Hey, follow, like, do what I say." And then Duke pulls out an Uzi and shoots up this restaurant and killing a bunch of people.
like while Charles Bronson's deep in the restaurant eating a hot dog, they just mow it down to shoot instead of like waiting a second for him to like finish his stupid hot dog and walk outside. You know what I mean? But then so Charles Bronson narrowly avoids death. He's the only like survivor in this hot dog.
Well, his partner
store.
survives.
Okay, him and his partner survive. But then he like lets his daughter ride like a city bus. He just lets his daughter like be out riding a city bus, like a crowded city bus, and like
And then she's
being out-
molested on the bus, which we mentioned earlier, but we didn't mention that afterward she runs off the bus screaming, "An Oriental touched my holiest of holies."
yeah.
It's an amazing
Who hasn't
line.
said that at one point in their life?
That's not what an action. I don't believe teenage girls, refer to their own vaginas that way. I think that's what like guys would say, like, "Hey, I touched her holiest of holy." Like, I think that's what like a young pervert would say.
Yeah. You know how like remember
I
Crazy
don't-
Gideon?
Of course.
So whenever I watch canon movies, I think about Golan and Globus or whatever, and I feel like they're both
They're
like two
Israeli,
crazy Gideon.
right?
Yeah, I feel like it's like two guys that are like Crazy Gideon making decisions. Like they mean like this is how people, teenage girls say holiest of holies. Uses two crazy Israeli guys.
Of course.
And
I
then
mean, they don't. I don't know how much hands-on stuff they had with this movie.
Sure,
'cause-
they're not writing, but
But that was the thing with Last American Virgin. They like the orange tree.
yeah,
in
that
the
was
hospital.
like a funny translation from an Israeli movie. But remember, like the daughter, and then she goes into the cops, and then she's like
Describing the
saying
guy.
like, yeah, she's saying now the movie has her saying Orientals, and the cop is being like, was he Japanese, Chinese, Korean? And she's like, how could you tell? You're making the daughter also be.
That was a good line.
That's pretty funny stuff.
it was amazing in the 80s you could be this racist against Asians, but there's lots of examples of it. I mean, Long Duck Dog, of course, and 16 Candles, and then he's also in Gung Ho. Gung Ho is a movie about uh the auto industry being overtaken by the Japanese. This was a real fear. Like the
Where the Japanese are like
Japanese,
the bad guys in that movie.
yeah,
Sort
people
of,
were
yeah.
threatened by them. Remember Mr. Baseball, the Japanese baseball
Oh yeah,
team
Selleck.
with Tom Selleck? Like it's hard to convey, but in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, like all
Why were
American
we so
television,
fearful?
all American television manufacturers basically went out of business.
Right. Okay.
Japanese took over that. Then the Walkman, Sony, like these Nintendo became very big. Like these companies
But it's not like
made
our
so
economy was
much
shit or
money.
anything. We were still doing good too, right?
Yes, but
Well,
they were
we weren't
literally
doing
buying.
good at-
They were literally buying up American businesses too.
Yeah, well, like, are the manufacturing in America is already like going away.
And yes, the American manufacturing was going away. The jobs were going away. And
But that's
America
not
was
their
so
fault.
racist against the Japanese that, like in the 70s, because of course it first happened with cars, Toyota, Honda, etc. American people were committing hate crimes on Japanese people in the streets, just beating up men, killing them. They were really freaked out that our enemy in World War II was now essentially taking over our businesses. And also there's this thing too, like we're seeing now with illegal immigration, that when there is economic anxiety about you're not earning as much, there's inflation, you're not, things cost more money, you tend to blame races. You know, you make you blame like illegal immigrants, you blame immigrants, you blame
Right.
globalization,
The scapegoats.
which makes sense. It's their fault. It's not American corporations. It's not the U.S. government. It's the foreigners. They do it. It's not the It's not Richard Nixon and the Republican Party opening up trade with China. That did not do it. No. Vote for Reagan. That'll solve it. See where I'm going? I'm being ironic.
Whoa.
I get what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
If you had voted
This is
for
a little
Walter
too hot.
Mondale, things would have been very different.
Imagine the future we'd be living in. Flying cars and like
American cars.
green energy.
We
All
could
the
be making
problems
televisions
solved.
in America.
Why did he? No, that was Dukakis. I was gonna say, why did he sit in that tank like an idiot?
I don't know. He's still alive.
so,
He's
hey.
still kicking.
So yeah, this
Sound-
movie. I mean, we're not making this movie sound very good, but this movie is actually pretty fucking good, honestly. Everything in this movie is really good. Besides, my
And
thing-
hold on. I just want to
Yeah.
say one thing. Roger Ebert, in his review, where he gave the movie 1 star, he said, "This is the best made Charles Bronson movie in years, and it's one of the sleaziest, most disgusting and disturbing movies he's ever made."
he gave it
And
one
it's
star.
it's a shame that it's so well made and so slick
The music is awesome.
when it's so vile. But that's what I like.
Yeah. Remember when they he goes to like so they're on like the hunt of this child trafficker or whatever.
This pimp, the Duke,
This
The
pimp
Duke.
after this Japanese girl gets picked up.
who he could have killed multiple times, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Or arrested. I don't know why he
remember
didn't
the scene-
arrest him ever.
Yeah, of course. Remember the scene when they're like outside of like a peep show and there's like a barker kind of guy outside
Love this scene.
and he's like,
Yes.
hey, the guys are walking by, the two cops, and the guy's like, hey, what do you guys like? We got 12-year-olds, 9-year-olds.
It's not the cops.
Oh, it's not the cops.
It's the Japanese guys.
It's the
Oh, the
Japanese
Japanese guy. Right.
whose daughter got kidnapped. Yeah.
But he's just like admitting to like standing in front of a business being like, admitting to like some of the most serious possible crimes you could be committing. Why is
And
he
then the
doing
cop
that? That's not a
comes
good
over and
Barker.
beats up the Asian guy.
It's not a good
Cop does not
Barker.
pay attention to that at all.
Yeah. Good cops. Who's Nicole Eggert in this movie? What's her role?
Isn't she the blonde girl who gives up the Duke at the orphanage? She's the one who says, if you want to find the Duke, you got to go to Rosario's.
Oh, no, she's like, is she like Charles Bronson's older daughter or something like that?
No. She's like
He only
a
had one daughter.
all the rescued prostitutes work at or go to the orphanage with the priest.
Nicole Eggert is pretty good in this movie, I gotta say.
But
she's, I think
it's a
I
very
don't know if it's
confusing. It's
because
such a
she's in,
confusing scene. It's
she's
so
in like a,
confusing.
yeah, it's a very bad, confusing scene, but like she's acting and she's doing a good job. She like acting in a scene with Charles Bronson, Nicole Eggert is like Meryl Streep or something. You know what I mean? Like she's like all of a sudden like and be doing like amazing craft.
Do you really think he's bad, the movie?
Charles Bronson is really bad in
Yes.
the movie. He's the worst. He's by far he's like the honestly like the problem
I like
in the
him.
movie. The bad part of them. He's funny and stupid. You like him because he's stupid.
I just think he's
ruin the movie, but
I
it's
think he has
bad.
charisma and he's good.
I don't think he's good.
No.
But hey, that's cool, man. That's why art is so fascinating.
I mean, I don't think he's playing a character who just
I think
has seen it all and is bitter and he doesn't.
I picture some of the line deliveries or what. Like there's a part where he's talking to Nicole Eggert and he's like, "Did you love him?" She's talking about the Duke. She's like, I don't know.
But he got you addicted to
like,
drugs.
Oh, come on. He just like
He got you
he's
addicted to
terrible.
drugs. He got you turning tricks, and you still love him.
He bought her clothes.
He looks like there's that one scene where like the priest is like blessing him, and it's just Charles Bronson is just feeling nothing. You just watch a guy like being blessed by a priest, and he's just like there's just nothing going on in his brain. That's kind of how it feels. But Nicole Eggert was in that movie. I was like in that scene. I was like, she's like so fucking good. She should be like in like she should be like Catherine Keener or something like that. She should be in like a Charlie Kaufman movie. But this is like a Baywatch. This actor is in like Baywatch and stuff. She's not like, but she's so much better than Charles Bronson that I
don't agree. I thought Charles Bronson was great.
Well, let's let the listeners decide.
He has movie star charisma.
No, he doesn't. He's
not in this movie.
He's an idiot. He's terrible and he doesn't.
He looks amazing.
He looks like an idiot. What are you talking about? He's got like a mustache and like.
What about when he busts that porno shoot and he beats up those guys?
The action's good in this movie.
It's amazing. He just punches them and they fall down and furniture is breaking.
When he grabs the Indian guy by the collar, he really like does it in a way where I'm like, I feel almost bad for the other guys in the scene because he's roughing them up.
The Duke is good. You know who's really good in this movie? It's such a small role. Okay, so when they kidnap this girl and she's now a prostitute, the Johns have to like pretend this is all part of her school system. And there's this old guy in a limo who is really creepy and really disgusting, talking to her, saying like your teacher's mad at you, your principal's mad at you.
Oh yeah.
And then he like molests her in a car, rapes her.
But
yeah. But he's just like a rich guy. He looks like Robert Mitchum with AIDS.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the Duke is like, is like watching, and he's like,
"You really know how to paint a picture, William."
Good.
Okay, let's listen.
They both roll off in their respective limos. One going one way, one going the other. Deal is done.
I like this scene with Charles Bronson. Okay, let's tell me if this is bad. Charles, this is after the Japanese guy's daughter's been kidnapped and she's crying.
Boy, am I glad we're out of there. I don't know how to deal with that sobbing. Tears and all. I thought these guys had balls of iron. You know, give your life for the emperor, committing harikari, that kind of thing. Don't make me out to be insensitive, because I can imagine, being the father of a teenager, I can imagine how that guy must feel.
Where do you want to start?
It's an electrifying scene.
Where do you want to start?
I feel it. I feel his passion.
He thought they had balls of steel. What about when they they have Cy Richardson and they hang him over the edge?
Accidentally kill him.
That was awesome. That was another good reaction shot when he slips out of his shoes and he falls, and then Charles Bronson's reaction to that is another great performance.
I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know. I don't know. They bring me up, bring me up. I'm slipping. I'm slipping.
The way Charles Bronson reacted when the shoe slipped off, and then I love when Cy Richardson floats up and there's just blood everywhere.
Watch Charles Bronson's face after in the next shot.
Oh
no! quick little look around.
Yeah. Was this? So you saw this at the New Beverly?
Yeah.
Oh man, I bet it was killed.
Yeah. What about this part? Why does she kills herself? Because she just all those horrors she had to deal with of being human trafficked.
Yeah.
Mike.
To teach her father a lesson. So the little girl tests heroin and kills herself, and then writes a haiku.
To teach her father a lesson? What are you talking about?
Because her father had sex with. Well, this is in the movie, right? The moralizing of the film is that her father would get prostitutes, so his daughter's raped and her life is destroyed through prostitution. But then this little girl writes a haiku explaining where the Duke is at night. He's on a boat. We got to talk about this end action scene. This is one of the great movie climaxes of all time. So Charles Bronson shows up and he's in his car, and then the Duke is in his car, and Charles Bronson is then attacked with this crane, and his partner is killed.
It's a crane right through the chest.
That was a good death scene for that partner, and it was like a perfect time to lose that character. Another very solid screenwriting by the writer of Kinjite.
And then the car's
subjects.
The car's right. I thought it was Forbidden Secrets. The car's raised 100 feet in the air, and then they drop the car and smash it.
Yeah.
And the Duke is all happy.
Yeah.
But little does he know, Charles Bronson is alive. He's actually hanging on the crane.
What a shot. A crane shot of a crane.
And then he shoots the Duke's driver, and then their car crashes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, now, afterwards, there's all these henchmen.
Goes on a rampage, too.
Sure. But there's all these henchmen firing at Charles Bronson. And you think, like, oh, is Charles Bronson going to shoot them in this awesome scene? No, they're just standing over barrels filled with gasoline. And then he blows up all their barrels, killing them.
Yeah, good stuff.
There's also a great moment where Charles Bronson rolls down and hides under a ledge, and then the limo just drives over him.
That's cool. Yeah, the ending's pretty cool. Yeah, him shooting the gasoline, the stream or whatever was awesome.
The barrels, there's hundreds of barrels. Like there's gasoline on the
ground. Yeah.
The gasoline is leaking on the ground, and there's just barrels full of gasoline at the Long Beach port. They just have they just have leaky barrels of gasoline and oil
everywhere.
And he doesn't,
this is something that you would not allow on a port. This is a major port of the West Coast.
You know,
he would not allow this.
You know, a movie is good when it ends.
It's like a video game, like Time Crisis.
Yeah.
The docks.
Got to end your movie on the docks, always. I loved that haiku, by the way. I thought it was quite beautiful. It's something like the one the little girl writes. It's like boat, small boat in the distance, big boat up close. Which one is true? That blew
And
my
Charles
fucking
Bronson and his
mind, dude.
partner are like deciphering the poem,
And they're
and they
like, oh, they
figure it
must be
out
at the
perfect.
docks.
How does
I
she
know what
know?
this haiku means. It means they're at the docks.
How does she know where they went?
Yeah.
What about when the Duke does her makeover? She gets a haircut, and then they pull off the tarp from the haircut,
Yeah.
and she has, and then that reveals the outfit she's wearing underneath, and then all the whores and pimps and gangsters start clapping, and they're like, "Yay, you look great!"
She's whored out. Oh, great! Finally,
And it's like a
and then
little
he's
12-year-old girl.
That
he's
movie
like,
made me
You're open for business now.
that movie made
Now we're
that or
open
that
for
scene.
business or some shit. I don't know what he says there. It's hella funny.
That scene made me be like, because like that scene made me be like, is this like movie into the little girls too?
Yes,
Yeah. Because they all
That's
like
why
the women in this movie are hot. And like all the older women in this movie are hot. And then they like turn the little girl into a hot lady. You're like, what's going on?
I mean, there is no doubt. Every man who worked on this movie, who was in this movie, has sex with prostitutes and exploits women. There is no doubt in my mind these guys are not into this shit.
That's safe to say.
They clearly love it. These
Yeah, so
old
if this
men.
movie is racist and also for pedophiles,
I don't know if they're
but
pedophiles,
it's
but
good.
they're
But it's a good one. Not
they definitely
pedophiles, but just like horny for every woman, including young girls. It's almost like
Remember-
that 70s thing we were talking about last week.
Charles Bronson's at his daughter's swimming pool meet, their swim meet, and then afterwards the photographer's taking her photo in her swimsuit, and then he starts freaking out because of like she's being sexualized.
Oh yeah.
She could cover up a little bit. I mean, she doesn't need to be
It's like, oh, come
all
on. what
out
are you
there in a
doing?
swimming suit. Come on.
They're like, we got to get this scene, guy. We got to make this
I
scene.
don't-
We can have Charles
here's-
Bronson, say that it's bad, but
I don't understand how in the 80s they could make these bad movies so entertaining and so and they just go down so nicely.
well, they're so like, yeah, they're like,
They're not
They are-
boring.
they're not boring. Well, there's
Today they would be boring.
absurd.
These movies
Yeah.
are like would be so boring and so lazy and so
They
stupid.
got a lot of good character actors. You know what I mean? That can help a lot.
Is it because the fact that the guys making this movie, the director of this movie directed Guns and Navarone and had been making movies in the 60s, and he's actually like a
good
capable
director. Yeah.
he's a capable workhorse director. That must be
Maybe.
it. Because the guys today, I think, are just they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Remember
They don't
when
they don't have the foundational skills.
also, I mean, like honestly, like a movie like this probably doesn't have like the budget of like today that it used to. Like I'm thinking about all these crane
I don't think
shots
they
and
have
all these
the I don't think
extra
they have the
things.
schedule,
Yeah, sure.
the time. I think they're really rushed. Like these Liam Neeson movies are lame as hell.
But there's not like big shots ever. And this movie has a lot of like moving big shots and like with a lot of background actors and like and like the score
They go
is,
to
like,
Tokyo.
Amazing for no reason.
They go to Tokyo and their scenes actually shot in Tokyo.
But you like yeah, before they drop that guy off the balcony, remember he's like police brutality will make your case go away, or I'll say police brutality or whatever. He's saying like the movies against people saying like talking about police brutality.
Of course, that was the
That was a-
thing. Like, if we didn't have all this namby-pamby bullshit, the cops could really get something done.
Bust some
Amen.
heads.
But they don't get things done. They just stick a plunger up a dude's ass.
They need to let like crazy racist guys make movies more. They don't let them make them anymore.
Remember a few months ago in New York City with the migrant thing when that was going on, and the Guardian Angels beat up that guy on camera,
No,
and he
I didn't
wasn't
see
even
that.
he wasn't even a migrant.
Oh no.
I missed that one.
Yeah, what's his name? Richard Siwa.
Oh, the guy who was running for mayor?
Yeah, the Guardian Angel guy. Like they just
He
started
was on
beating
camera
up.
beating him up.
They
Oh,
beat
the
up this.
Guardians, the red beanie guy.
Yeah,
Or, yeah. Oh, the Guardian Angels. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking
they
I
were
was thinking Hell's
beating
Angels.
up a guy they accused. They're like, oh, he's a migrant and he was stealing, and they beat him up on camera on Fox News, and they were like, oh, cool. And then it turned out he didn't steal anything, and he's not a migrant. These vigilante justices are often
Not working
wrong.
out so well.
No, they're always getting things wrong. It's like and obviously in the UK right now, this is happening with the Taylor Swift stabbing.
Wait, what is that?
Okay, so there was this party for Taylor Swift or something. And then
Okay.
3 little girls were stabbed and killed
Oh no.
by a 17-year-old.
Oh no.
And they're like, it's a Muslim. They come to this country. And then turns out he's African. He's Christian. He's born in the UK. But they're now just rioting in the streets in England.
Yeah, I saw some of that. I didn't know
So these racists are dumb.
they're just a little quick to
They get a little hot-headed.
yeah, they're a little jumpy, Reactionary, I think it's called.
Also,
They
Charles
react.
Bronson, he shoves his dildo up this guy's ass in the beginning of the movie, and it's like a rich white guy.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
there is no consequence or moment of reflection on that moment. There's nothing. That's just
Well, no, he's like, I don't think I can eat right now, or like
Yeah.
that's the reflection. I was thinking it's funny because
he just buries it.
yeah, well, hey, that's what you got to do. But I was thinking, so he doesn't let the Duke drown. Wait, like after he kills everybody else at the docks and stuff, he saves the Duke, but he obviously takes him to jail. Finally, he
Oh,
finally
yeah.
decides to take him to jail.
He personally marches him into the jail cell.
Is that allowed?
All the way in.
No, the sheriff does it.
Yeah.
Not the
And then
arresting
everybody's
officer.
whistling at.
There's Danny
him,
Trejo
so-
in an early role, and they're all like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna rape you.
Woo!
Woo, you're beautiful. We're gonna rape you.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Mike-
no, no.
Mike, is that what happened to you? You went to jail?
Yeah, it didn't, which was relieving.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good. Glad to hear.
I thought that would, but it did not.
But yeah, it ends with like the Duke being like, obviously he's gonna get raped, and then Charles Bronson goes, "That's justice," and then turns him off. But I was thinking like later, I was like, wait, what about like the guy who he sex trafficked the daughter to, like the businessman, and all these. Charles Bronson's like, case closed, and he just like leaves. It's like getting Epstein and be like, we don't need to find the client list or anything like that. We got the guy.
That's how it is.
Justice is served. Not pursuing any. There's a huge case. He's like about to discover like the case of his career, and he's like, got him. Like the bad guy's getting raped. Why is this motherfucker like raping? Everything's about.
It's
getting
like
your butt raped.
he hates rape, but then he thinks it's good when it happens to the bad guys. It's not.
Well, hey, if do you think a rapist or like somebody who like traffics people? for
I don't think
sex
the
and
American
stuff?
justice system should be delivering rape upon people who are arrested.
As a punishment. It shouldn't be used
What
as
if-
punishment.
They should match punishment for the crime exactly. Like if you steal something gets
No,
stolen
this
from
is
you.
all bad.
If you rape, you get raped.
No.
Eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, Adam.
I haven't heard that. That's not what my understanding of things. Eye for an eye. Still got one eye.
It's a Timothy McVeigh. They should have just blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The 9/11 hijackers, they should have
Well,
blown them into a building, another building. I guess they were already. Osama bin Laden. They should have flown into the Freedom Tower. Just him. Be like, how do you like this motherfucker?
They threw him in the ocean. So they say.
They're probably like hanging out with him right now,
They threw him in the ocean so he couldn't be found. How
playing Mario
convenient.
Party.
Probably with Epstein.
Yeah.
Looking down on us.
They're out in a penthouse in Jerusalem partying.
Yeah,
It
dude,
was-
totally. It was an
Penthouse.
Mossad agent.
They got there
Guys.
doing cocaine.
Epstein and Bin Laden. Just like, yeah, party.
Listening to cool music.
Yeah.
Driving around in limousines.
So that's just my theory about criminal justice.
It's
A guy takes your eye, you take his eye.
it's simple, and you've
That's
clearly
it.
haven't thought through it, but
I've thought it through. Oh, I've thought it through. Somebody spray paints your house, you can spray paint their house. And they're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I don't like this. I know I learned my lesson.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I bet that guy who Charles Bronson put a dildo in his butt. I bet he was like, oh, this doesn't feel good. I won't do this again.
Boy, I sure wouldn't want this to happen to me, so I'm not going to do it to anybody else.
Exactly. It's called empathy. It's about building empathy in our fellow human beings.
State enforced empathy.
These are all human beings. Jeffrey Epstein, Osama bin Laden, the Duke. These are human beings.
do you think the Duke killed himself in jail?
I hope not.
How convenient.
I was thinking if I was in a situation like that, I guess I would just get raped, but I would keep working out. I would keep building muscle while getting raped until I'm big enough to be like, what now, motherfucker?
That's enough of that. Okay, I've had enough. Thank you very much.
Be like, well, I'll walk in, and the guy's like, whoa, okay, take it easy, guy.
So wasn't working out.
Everything's cool. We're all good. I'm like, thank you. And then I sit on my bunk and I read a book.
You're not going to return the favor and
I
start
finally.
raping him?
Oh yeah, I guess I should start raping.
You gotta be the boss of the cellar.
Fuck. Now I understand the problem with this. I don't want to be raping this guy. I'm like, finally, I'm not getting raped. I'm just going to be. I want to finally start this book.
Like I learned my lesson already. I'm not going to do it to you.
Yeah,
I
but
know
now
how
I get
it is.
in my criminal justice system. Then I have to start raping, and that might be just as bad. Oh, no, maybe not just as bad, but you know.
Well, in your system, it has to be just as bad.
Yeah, I guess it does have to be just as bad. So
is that the whole point?
Not gonna like it, but I gotta do it.
I would be raped in prison.
You're saying you?
I wouldn't work out.
Oh, you would just be like, whatever.
Just do it. Go ahead.
You get looser as it goes on. It becomes less of a big deal.
It's your funeral, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, if you say that before that happens, I bet you talk yourself out of a rape.
Good idea.
Be like, okay,
reverse psychology.
Yeah, yeah. Be like, hey, go for it. If you want to take the risk with what I got, the guy be like, wait, what do you have? Please tell me. And you'd be like, no. I'll be like, come on. Be like, no, sorry.
That'd be a HIPAA violation. I don't need to tell you about my medical background.
Yeah. I'll be like, are you a doctor? He's like, no. I'm like, well, then no.
I hope you like farts. I would just fart on their dick.
You like farts. Like a really disgusting fart that's just completely
bend me over and go at it.
I get what you're saying.
This is what you want. So what do we learn? Justice is killing a person, throwing them off a balcony.
Human
Letting them be
trafficking
raped.
is extremely common and totally out in the open.
If you have sex with a prostitute, your daughter will be kidnapped and raped, and then she'll die of a drug overdose, commit suicide.
Good to know.
You come to our country, you buy our hotels, you take over our businesses. America will get you back in its own way.
Eye for an eye.
What's the ratings? What do we give this incredible movie?
I think I gave Black Rain 4.5, so I'll give this a 4. I like it. It's good.
I give this a 3. It's
not
entertaining.
as good as Black Rain, but it's good.
I give this movie a 3.5. This is pretty fucking good. And if Charles Bronson, I think when the lead performance is this bad
Excellent.
and stupid,
Excellent.
it's
This
just like
excellent.
he's not trying. You can't stop giving it.
That's why it's
Also,
it's
he's
called
ruining scenes.
It's called confidence. Okay, Adam. It's called
okay.
confidence. Now, for me, my big issue with the movie, of course, is I want Charles Bronson to kill this Japanese guy for molesting his daughter.
Yeah, for sure.
Do a little karate on him. He should molest him. I would love a scene where he's on a bus wearing a dress, and this guy sticks his hand up his legs, and then Charles Bronson, and then he
jerks him off a little bit.
Yeah,
Charles Bronson jerks him off. Be like, "How do you like it?"
It's your funeral,
I like
baby.
You like this? Justice is served. So
well, I'm
then he
doing it as
busts all over
crappily
his
as
mustache.
I can.
Yeah, or like there should have been a scene. Maybe the scene. Yeah, it is weird. There wasn't a scene where like the guy commits Harikari or whatever after his daughter dies or something. You know what I mean? If they're trying to be like, "Hey, you are the reason why this happened," even though you're like, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, there should be a scene where the guy stabs himself like a samurai. They've been talking about the whole movie, you know.
Just make it extra Japanese.
Maybe that's a Kinjite. Kinjite. A forbidden subject. Kinjite is Japanese for forbidden subject. You guys looked a little lost.
Oh, no wonder.
So I know Japanese.
Kinjite.
Yeah, I know
Kinjite.
Japanese. I like that scene where the
Charles Bronson also, I'm reading the IMDb trivia, he was
Oh, nice.
68 in this movie, and many critics felt he was too old to be playing a police officer.
68
guess-
is really old, honestly.
Yeah.
He's in really
He
good
looks-
shape though.
Yeah, he looks good for 68,
He looks
but
good.
that is old. No 68-old police officer would kick my ass. No way. Not happening.
Nobody was that jacked back then.
It's not true.
He's
What about
real
Arnold?
buff. But this is before Arnold. Or not
No.
this movie.
Not.
Not this movie,
No, it's
but
not.
Not the
Arnold was
Arnold.
buff.
Arnold's way
Pumping
before
Iron
this.
is in like 77.
oh, okay. Wait, but Charles
Bronson was jacked
Yeah,
in
that's what I'm saying.
Great Escape.
That's what I'm saying. Charles Bronson's his thing was he was super
He was
buff.
jacked for his time. Yeah.
It's hard to be jacked at 68.
Not for
For
Charles
some.
Bronson. How old is Tom Cruise? 60? Tom Cruise is 60 now.
But he's not that
Damn.
jacked.
He's 62. He's pretty jacked I saw him at the Olympics today. He's like with his arms up.
He's flex at the Olympics.
He's watching like the women's soccer game, and he's cheering, and his guns are showing.
Front double bicep.
He's stealing the attention from the women who've worked hard, and it's their time.
Well,
trying to
he's
be
bringing
look,
them
I'm
attention.
stronger than all these women. That's
He's
what he's
bringing
saying.
them attention.
Did you watch? You watched the end of the Olympics today?
No.
Oh, it's over? That's it?
It's over today.
We won?
Yeah,
We won. Well, we tied for most gold medals, but we have the most medals.
With
period.
who?
China.
Oh, these fucking guys.
Tale as old as time.
They come here with their gymnastics.
Beauty and the Beast. Ping pong.
This is LA, not Beijing.
Yeah. That
We'll
was
show them in
Paris,
LA.
Paris, actually. Yeah.
No, but I was
4 years,
Oh, the
baby.
movie. I see.
Sorry. I'm sorry. That was lame.
No, it's okay.
I take
No,
it
it's
back. I
not-
take
no,
it
it
back.
wasn't.
It never happened. Never happened.
Mike, you need to get butt raped with a dildo.
Well, that might do it for me.
So
Teach
we
you a
all
lesson.
agree. We can agree
can't-
on a 3.5.
You
Nice
can't know
even.
you don't like something till you've tried it.
That's true.
I love the scene where the Charles Bronson goes to the Duke's apartment and he's talking to the desk clerk.
He's just
And then he says, "Hey, shitface, we're not fucking around. What's the apartment number?" And then he smashes to the glass.
by throwing a huge vase from the lobby at it, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's so many of these. Like the funny thing about this movie is like the scenes start with a car pulling up. Charles Bronson, his partner, they get up, they walk out. Takes a while. It takes a minute for them to walk up to the building. They walk in, and then there's just immediately like insane shit happening.
What kind of car is that, Mike? Like an Oldsmobile? What are these boxy 80s cars?
You know, they just call them a box Chev. That's probably like a Caprice Classic or something, or some sort of Chevrolet piece of crap. There are a lot of Cadillacs, obviously. The Duke drives a Cadillac, the Cadillac limos. But the cop cars you're talking about are probably like a Caprice or something like that.
Lincoln.
Oldsmobile, something like that.
These aren't good cars.
Lincoln?
No.
You never see any of these cars on the road
No,
today.
you don't.
They're all gone. They're just gone.
End of an era. It was a different time.
But I mean, a car from the 80s is now 40 years old. When we were kids in the 90s, you didn't see cars you would see cars from the 50s, but not
You'd see
too
20-year-old.
often, right?
20-year-old cars is about as old as you see.
Yeah, you'd see 70s cars or something. You'd see the cars from this movie, maybe.
Oh man. But they're
Good
just
stuff.
gone. They just got rid of that boxy design and it's just
Well, it's not metal. Things aren't like metal anymore. And stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Aerodynamics.
they have
they're not this
huge
heavy
well, they're
metal.
regulated because they don't get good gas mileage being a 90-degree angle against the wind. Just a flat.
Except for the Cybertruck.
I don't know how that thing got away with it, but I guess it's angled.
I watched a video on Twitter of a guy pulling the Cybertruck, all the like siding off of the Cybertruck with his bare hands.
Why?
It seems
then
like
I
a
saw
giant
a
piece of
co-
well,
and then
because
I saw-
So it's shitty.
And
Yeah.
people were like, look at this shit. Like, this car is a piece of shit and stuff. And then there was a comment that was like, yeah, okay, then drive your car that isn't, and enjoy getting shot in your car because this is bulletproof. Like something like.
I don't think that car's bulletproof, buddy.
He literally pulled like the siding off of the car.
Well, there was
like,
a
all of
thing
it
where one guy pulled. What do they call it?
Fender or something?
The thing that pulls a boat or whatever. What's that called?
Oh, the tow hitch?
Tugboat.
Yeah, the tow hitch. They're pulling one with
The tugboat is a small boat that pushes other boats.
Yeah. It's
in a harbor.
I was kind of tuned out.
In a
Just heard the very last part of that.
So they're pulling it by the hitch, and then the whole thing just fell apart, just ripped off.
Nice.
There is no
It's like
metal
if I designed
frame.
a car.
It just
Oh,
looks
man.
like a cool car, but it's not actually strong or tough, or it can't pull weight. Can't do anything a truck can do.
Hey, some cars
It's just a DeLorean.
can't do things that cars do, and some cops
You know, did you know
don't
you can't,
put dildos in criminals' butts.
did you know you can't take your Tesla into a car wash?
Cybertruck?
Any Tesla. Like an automated car wash, because the water will destroy the electronic system because it's
Nice.
not shielded. And
How
they
do they
say
drive them in the rain then?
that's a great question.
They're gonna start breaking down in the rain. That'd be funny.
Yeah, like because they were made in California, they're not used to these extreme weather situations.
Like, you can like charge it with an UV or like an outlet. You know what I mean? So you could
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah, if you want, If you want to wait 14 hours.
No,
for
I'm
it to
saying
charge.
like if you you could charge it with solar power, and you could
Yeah.
charge it. So like, but because it has this outlet thing, you could charge it like you could like hook a bike up to it and like pedal and charge it up.
That would again take so long. There's no way it would even be worth it.
Of course, but just the idea of like being completely energy independent like that is like
I know, but you
I
can
was
get
like,
a
oh,
you can get a
cool. But then-
Toyota plug-in hybrid that you can charge and also get gas.
What about that, Adam?
I'm just saying there's lots of this shit happening now.
You're
but
right.
yeah, it is cool to have electric charging.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool.
What they need to do is let you do the Back to the Future thing where you can just take like garbage, banana
Yeah.
peels, eggshells,
Poop. He's
with
pooping.
nuclear fusion. Imagine a couple
Diarrhea.
of banana peels and diarrhea that would make your car fly. That would be amazing.
You have a toilet hook up to your gas tank and you just sit on like a toilet seat.
I want a movie theater where you
Blast
sit in
diarrhea.
a toilet. All the
You just
seats are toilets.
Never need to get up.
That's that cinema, or that's like 4DX or whatever, like the real.
Yeah,
D or
and it's
whatever it is.
4DX. You shit, piss. That'd be
It'd be
cool.
awesome. They got to start doing. The movies are getting long enough where they should start putting the toilets in the seats for sure.
Or there should be a toilet in the back of the theater with like a glass wall that you could see.
What the?
Or like
People
urinals.
could see
And you just get up and you walk and you go to the back
Yeah,
and you just piss.
it's not soundproof, of course, but and people, yes, can turn around and look back at you
It's also stinky.
completely pantsless going to the
It's very
bathroom,
stinky.
but they're not going to do that. They're invested in the movie. So
In the dark. You wipe your ass.
it's like a really bright scene comes up and you're just like lit up.
Whoa.
Should be the front.
as you're
It should
turning
be in the
around, wipe
front of this of the theater and the screen. There's like one toilet that faces the audience.
You're like standing up. You wipe standing up and you've like turned around facing them. Yeah, why don't movie theaters do that?
I think it's illegal.
They're lame.
Yeah, movie theaters need to stop being lame.
I don't think you can just have a toilet in the middle of your business.
It's not sanitary.
That's not good business. I mean, it sounds like good, but it's like convenience. You're providing convenience for your customers.
They have this, don't they have those in Europe? They had when I was in Tokyo. It wasn't in Tokyo, it was in Kyoto, but there were outdoor urinals.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Public urinals. Like in a park. Like there was like a wall that you went behind.
We have
And there
we
was-
have public park urinals.
But there,
Public
it was
bathrooms.
like, but it
It
was
wasn't
cool.
enclosed, is what you're saying. It was just out there. I've
Yeah.
seen those. Yeah.
Oh, like
you just take a piss.
and everyone who are in the park can see you.
Well, there's a wall, but basically, yeah, if they wanted to, they could see you.
If they tried to, they could see your wiener while you're peeing. It is possible.
Well, I was at my kids my kids daycare had like an end of summer party.
Oh
and
no.
And one of the kids it got kind of crunk, and one of the kids, I just like turned and I looked back, and one of the kids had his pants completely off and was just peeing on the sidewalk at this playground. And his mom was like, no, stop that.
Would you say he was?
They were going crazy, the kids. It was a lot
Was
of
he-
fun. That's a good party.
So, Mike, you think
Yes.
Kinjite is better than Star 80? Than Eric
Star 80
Roberts?
Star 80 just I'm sorry. Do I think it's better than Star? Yeah, I guess so. I was confusing Star 80 and White of the Eye. But no, you're right. Star 80 is better than this movie.
Mike,
what did I
listen
what
to
did
your
I give
heart.
Star 80? What did I give Star 80? 3.5?
You gave it 3 stars. You said it was 2.5 to 3 stars. Star 80 is at least a 4-star.
Shit.
No, Mike, listen to your heart.
I'm all over the place.
No, that's okay.
This movie was more entertaining. It was more. I didn't fall asleep. I didn't get bored.
They're different kinds of movies
I was
too.
able to watch it all the way
This is your
through.
subject. You like this kind of story more.
Yeah, I do.
You love a cop
This is my
movie.
subject.
And Black
I do.
Rain also has this Japanese
Yeah, you're
racist
Japanese.
cop
I like
thing.
loose cannon cops. You know, they don't go by the book. That's
Did you
do the
identify with the
opposite.
stuff they were saying about the Japanese in this movie?
100%, 100%. And the hairstyles, you know, I have black hair, glasses.
But this
It's
movie was
all-
written by
it's all there.
this movie is like racist against Japanese people.
It's 100% authentic. Everything
Oh,
about
okay.
it is
Okay, cool. It's
completely
accurate and
authentic.
true. Cool.
It's exactly how my mother was. Exactly like my aunts and uncles.
I think they come out of the movie looking pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Orientals.
About principle,
Oh
everybody
yeah, and
smokes.
also we should clarify when you say Oriental, you're not supposed to refer to people. That's supposed to refer to objects like Oriental rugs, Oriental vases. So
Say
that's what I heard. You're not supposed to say like these. Oh, they're a bunch of Orientals.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to call anything Oriental. There's no Orient.
There was never an
Yeah.
Orient.
I mean, not anymore. I mean, it's like calling China Siam or something.
Yeah, why did that stop happening?
I don't know, but
That's
it's
so
not
weird.
happening.
Woke
dumb.
woke culture bullshit. Call it, and that you can't call China Siam anymore.
All
It's
right.
a woke
Well,
mind virus.
I gotta take a dump. I gotta get out of here.
You gonna
Good
go to the
night.
movies? All right.
Yeah.
See. Wait,
I
what's
wish
the
I
next
could take a
movie?
dump.
What is the next movie?
I don't know. We're supposed to do Siege, but that movie sucks. Sorry. I know the person requested it, but that movie is a movie I would watch, but I don't know.
What's
if
it
it's gonna-
about?
I'm not afraid.
Oh my
Mike's
god!
making his way to
It's
the
about-
bathroom.
No,
it's
I'm
in
not.
Canada.
I
They're like
was
kill a bunch of gay
just
people or
trying to
something.
fuck up my thing here, and I fucked it up.
I can't
Hey,
remember the
It's
plot.
not about. It's about if the movie is gonna lead to a good conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Both of you guys look like you have to take a giant dump right now.
I do.